Jordan Lawlar comes in, a Jordan Lawlar sighting after the big signing in Arizona. Question marks now is when does Jordan Lawlar play? And I think, we'll get to that in a minute, but Lawlar comes in still as the 32nd overall minor league player in the model. WRC plus projections have him at 111.2, BA at 255, OBP 336, a 427 slug, 19 home runs, 24 stolen bases. Doc, Jordan Lawlar, obviously injury issues, him and Marcelo Meyer being taken back to back, Meyer having injury issues. I'm still higher on Lawlar. The signing, I think it was Perdomo who signed. I'll double check that while you talk, but that did make things a little interesting. What are your thoughts on Lawlar?
He's weird, man. He's such a friggin' weirdo, huh? That's it.
Incredible athlete. Cut it right
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure he's a great kid, great frame, like 6'1", 190. That's like kind of like almost an ideal baseball frame, and add 10 pounds maybe. But yeah, he seems like a smart kid, but you gotta stay healthy to develop, right? And so he's not doing that. Yeah, he's not staying. At some point it goes from free. Oh, these are just freak accidents to okay. Well, maybe this is just like conditioning. Maybe it's genetics. I don't know, but he's still only 22 years old, but he will be turning 23 this year. And again, as an MLB player, that is young, but as a guy who has the potential he has in terms of athleticism, so far it's obvious that it's been a disappointment. I will point out his EVs in AAA are not great. Frankly, his contact rates aren't really that good either. 2023, they were better in terms of AAA. Even went from 87% contact, 78% contact, which is good, and 87 zone contact, which is good, AAA. And then 2024, he dropped down to 71 contact and 79 zone. So it's like injuries probably affecting him. I guess if you can buy low on him, do it, because I do think the talent's there. But there's always someone who loves Jordan Lawlar and still thinks he's a top 20 prospect. That's my experience.
Yep.
And I'm just not there with him at this point. I'm like, there's other guys who are proving that they can stay on the field, like Chase DeLauder. It's like, I'm freaked out, bro. I'm freaked out, and I hope that both these guys prove me wrong, because I want these guys are human beings with dreams and the will. I'm sure most of them don't want to be injured and in pain especially when they're super talented, right? It's one thing we're talking about Jacob Wilson. It's this guy, and like, oh, couldn't he get some power? And he's like, no, I'm fine. I'm actually gonna go have a career over here. I don't care about your points league,
your fantasy world.
Honestly, he could probably. I bet you Jacob Wilson maybe plays up in points leagues, maybe not. He doesn't do anything else. But regardless, as I'm trying to say here, the guys like Lawlar and DeLauder were like, oh my gosh, what could they do if healthy? This is like where it gets tragic. And so we got to just hope that they can stay healthy and stay on the field and develop. And frankly, Arizona is just becoming kind of a problem in that they're just a good team, right? And so they're signing guys, they're developing guys, they're bringing on some interesting prospects. So it's like big year for Jordan Lawlar.
Yeah, and just to wrap up Lawlar, thumb injury, hamstring injury in 2024. Thumb was in March, tore a ligament. Probably sapped that power would be my guess, right? We know that guys have any kind of hand injuries in general, it usually leads to a lack of power. Saw it from Adley Rutschman a little bit last year in the June injury. So maybe he comes back this year and the EVs go up, but the contact, we have to keep an eye on that, because we know how important that is becoming day by day. And then lastly, just to clarify, it was Geraldo Perdomo signing a 4-year extension. It's about $10 million AAV. So, I think if Lawlar explodes, that's not enough to keep him off the team. You can pay $10 million to a bench guy or a super U guy. So interesting signing though, because I think that's an organization telling us and applying a little pressure maybe to a prospect and, trying to create some growth.